This nigga just kept surviving.
Alright everybody, I just wanted to make a quick video here about how to update your Geforce Nvidia drivers for your graphics cards. A lot of my friends and people I talk to notice that they start getting latency and underperformance on their high-end GPUs, low-end GPUs, every kind of GPU. And they don't really know, as far as it goes, how to keep their PC maintenance and running as good as it should be. I just wanted to show everybody kind of an easy way to do that. I don't take too much of your time. So the new Nvidia Geforce app, a lot of people don't use this and they just run straight from the website. I use this because of the option that it gives you. So you just open that up, you click download, you go to drivers, you click your download, you let it download, do whatever it needs to do. So once your download finishes, and it goes through all this preparing package bullshit, install. Right here, these are the big things right here. Express just dumps everything together. All of this shit will stack drivers, and it can actually cause your GPU to fail because it just keeps stacking and stacking, storing data on your GPU. It's really bad. It can actually burn out your GPU. Do not do it. Custom installation is what you want. Don't check any of these. Leave them. They're gonna be the way they should be. This is the only thing you want to check. Restore on clean installation. That's all you want to do. Every time you get a new GPU update, lots of people like to stay on their old ones, stay on whatever, I'm always up for this because there's always something that they add, something new, bugs that they squash, optimization for games that you might play, however it may be. Run the clean installation, always. No stacking. I'm going to do this. I'm going to cut it here. And I'm going to show you guys how to optimize your Nvidia control panel, because every time you do this, it's going to reset. Alrighty, so we're back. After your screens are done flickering and having a stroke and doing all their wonderful shit, both of your screensavers, if you have dual monitors, they're both going to reset to the same picture on both. It's easy. You just go to your personalize, you change them. The big thing is this right here. All you got to do is right click if you have a Geforce GPU. That's what this video is made for. So if you don't, I don't know why the fuck you're on here. This right here, right click on your home screen, Nvidia control panel. It's gonna pop up. Go from top to bottom, show you all the settings. I've gone through all of these. I read all of the bullshit help. I've read all the options, even just as like a little infographic. You can see it at the bottom here, right? So if I go to image scaling, this features enables GPU scaling and sharpening for your app. Typical usage scenarios, it tells you everything about it. All of this stuff has an impact on your GPU, especially on GPU-bound games that use a lot of GPU utilization. If you're running this on or application controlled or whatever, a lot of people, when they run games, it's performance. Except for like single player games, and that can be controlled through your game. I know it says application controlled here, but this just adds another queued up thing. It has to go through your GPU to know the setting, and then it runs through your game and tells your CPU, okay, this is what we're running, and it loops back. This is a whole lot more queued up time bullshit that you don't want. You just want to eliminate all of the latency, all of the bullshit. You want to get rid of this. So from the top to the bottom, these are the ones that should be on. If everything, like right now, how this looks and how it looks when I change it is what yours should look like. Especially if you have anything under a 20 series GPU, all of these things should look the way I'm going to show you. Anisotropic filtering, off completely. You don't need that. If you want it in your game, turn it on in your game. Just because it's off here doesn't mean it's going to be off in your game if you turn it on. It just means it's not going to be queued up through your GPU through these settings when you launch a game. Gamma correction, off. Anti-aliasing mode, turn it off. Low latency, if you have a 30 series and up, it should be on ultra. If you have a 20 series and lower, it should just be on. There's a reason for that. Don't remember the reason. I'm just telling you, this is what works for me. Sometimes this works differently for other GPUs. If you really care about it, go ahead and test it. It's going to be a lot of testing and it's going to be very tedious. And especially if you're not, if you're new with this or you're not very versed in this, just take my word for it. I did it so you don't have to. 30 series, ultra, which is what I have. Anything higher, ultra. Anything lower, just on. This minimizes the queued frames for your CPU and your GPU. Your opening GL rendering GPU should be set to your GPU. It's the only other option there. Don't set it to auto because you don't want it rendering on your CPU. Power management mode should be on highest possible. Prefer maximum performance. Your texture filtering quality. This is everything. This is the big setting that a lot of people, all these other settings are null in comparison to this. This is the big one. This is what's going to impact your frames the highest. Running this on performance is what you want. If you want the most frames out of your game to make it feel the best, this is what you got to do. Now notice when I turn this to high performance, this texture filtering anisotropic sample options turned on. It was off before. This symbol beside off, this little green Nvidia symbol, means it's recommended. Now, just for this setting, that's the only thing that applies. Everything else where it says recommended, don't even listen to it. Turn that off. Everything else is fine down here except for this right here, threaded optimization. If you have a CPU that's 4 cores and over, you should have this on, not auto. Because if there's a game that says, oh, you don't need it, then it's going to put it on off. If you have more cores, you want to utilize your cores. It will benefit from it. Run it on if you have 4 cores or higher. If you don't, this setting will not change a thing. I have 8 cores, I'm going to turn it on. You apply it, let your screen flicker, it's going to do all this weird shit. Just let it do it, wait for it to stop. See how it kind of phased in? It's good. Then you go down here, configure surround PhysX. This is your processor for PhysX settings. You don't want your CPU on here. You don't want it to run off your CPU because if there's a high CPU bound game, you're going to redline your CPU. You're going to end up thermal throttling. You're going to crash a bunch of times. Use your GPU. PhysX wants to be used on your GPU. Just do it. If it supports it, just do it. Apply this. You're going to have this little chip load. What I like to do now, this is all done. This is all complete and clear. What I like to do is go up to my desktop and I like to display the GPU activity. It's this thing right here. You can open up this, it'll shoot right into your task tray. You just open this. It'll tell you everything that's running on your GPU right now. This is everything. My container for my background recording, Discord, startup, all Nvidia shit, everything that's running right now. That's exactly what's going to be in here, and you'll know if there's something that shouldn't be running that's on your GPU taking up service and all that bullshit. You can go into here or you can go into your task manager and kill it. This is good to have there because it lets you know what's actually going down on your GPU. This is what I like to have on. You don't have to have this on. It just lets me know what's going on in my GPU tray, so I know that if there's something that shouldn't be there that's taking up performance, I can go ahead and kill it through Task Manager or, background apps, whatever may have you. A little bit of an extra tip that I like to do is I go in here and I open Edit Power Plan. A lot of people don't know about this. This is huge, okay? This is like what it does for you remember that power performance bullshit that I got you to enable in your control panel? It's basically the same thing. This won't actually allow it to work. So if you go into your power options, normally high performance won't be here. It'll say balanced and that's it. You drop down this and it'll say high performance in here, this hidden additional plans. Sometimes if you have an AMD CPU, it'll say AMD power bullshit, blah, blah, blah. You don't want that. Just put it on high performance. Might use a little bit more energy, but you have a computer. That's like, you got 1,000 watt PSU. That's, you're gonna want, you paid for it. You might as well use it. Click it, use high performance. Your FPS will go up substantially. I'm telling you, this is the best. I have so many people always come and say, dude, my PC is running so much better. I'm a Tarkov player. You run Streets, you don't touch any of those things, and it's gonna feel so bad. You edit all of those things in that control panel, and I'm telling you, it's at least a 20% increase. At least. Every other map feels good. Any other game feels great. I had a friend who was getting 50 FPS on Rust running a 2070 and an 8-core CPU. By the end of it, he was on 2K resolution. By the end of it, I got him to do all that stuff, update his GPU, unstack the stacked drivers, delete all that bullshit, and he's getting 144 FPS on 2K, everything on max. Rust is a hard game to run, especially on high settings. This improves everything. It's just a quality of life thing. If you have it, use it at your disposal. It's worth it. Just run these settings. If it works for you, comment below. Let me know how it works. If it worked for you, if it just did nothing and I'm crazy, you can say that shit too. I don't give a fuck. This is how I figured out that it works for me. Give it a shot. Let me know how you think. If it works, like, drop a comment, subscribe. I really appreciate it, and take care of yourselves.